All right, so the recording has started and welcome everyone. I'm so excited to have you guys here tonight for Content Marketing 101. I know that a lot of you were on the webinar a couple of weeks ago when we talked about Instagram Marketing 101, and I'm just excited to really be able to share again with you all tonight. So to just jump right into the content, and I'm just gonna do a brief introduction. This is something that I do every time that I have a webinar because some people know me, some people do not. But my name is Toni Coleman-Brown, and I'm the founder of the Network for Women in Business. And the Network for Women in Business is an educational platform where our motto is that we educate to elevate women in business. And our mission here is to train, connect, and advance female entrepreneurs. And one of the things that we do is we host every year our annual Small Business Bootcamp for Women, which this year is going to take place in October 7th of 2017 in New Rochelle, New York. And then we also host various two-day workshops called the Online Marketing Mastermind live events. And those are, like I said, two-day workshops, and I plan to host those at least 3 to 4 times a year. So here are some of my accomplishments, some of the places where I've appeared. I've appeared on blackenterprise.com. Some of my social media articles have appeared there. Also on Pix11, the Working Woman Report. She actually came and filmed one of our small business boot camps for women, and she featured it on her show. I've been in a network journal. I've been in a couple of magazines, and I've written several books and co-authored some books, and they're listed here, and you can definitely check them out. And also, one of the things that I like to do is travel, and I showed a picture of me here several years ago when I went to the south of France. I actually won a trip with my network marketing company, and I was excited to go to Italy and Naples and Nice, and it was just absolutely fabulous. But as it relates to tonight, here are some of our objectives. We're going to talk about what exactly is content marketing, because a lot of people have heard about it and a lot of people hear the term a lot. You have to share value, but a lot of people don't necessarily know what does that mean. So we're going to talk about what is content. We're also going to talk about what are the different types of content that you can create, and then we're going to go into what type of content is exactly right for my audience. Then we're going to talk about how to align that content with your business goals. And we're going to go into some intense content creation tips and ideas. And once you create that content, how are you going to distribute it? And then we're going to talk about what's next. So what is content marketing? Content marketing is actually a strategy. It's a marketing strategy that involves creating and sharing material. A lot of it is online. Sometimes it could be offline material like magazines or flyers or postcards, but most of the times it's things like videos, blogs, and social media posts. And they don't always explicitly promote your brand or your company or your product, not all the time, but oftentimes content is intended to spark interest in a brand and to attract your ideal customer or your ideal audience to you, to your website, to a specific sales page, and the likes. So that's what content marketing is. So when it comes down to what are the different types of content that you could provide, there's social media content, which there are different types of posts that you can create on social media. There are blog posts. And that's really, when people think of content, most of the time they think that you have to write something, but you don't always have to write content. Sometimes your content can be spoken, like webinars or podcasts. Sometimes you can create newsletters, and in your newsletters you don't necessarily always have to be the person that write the newsletters. You can get guest writers for your newsletters. Also, you can have in-person events like networking events, or you can have one-on-one consultations, and that's content. And videos, let's not forget about videos. Video is probably one of the number one forms of content right now, especially with new technology coming on board, such as Facebook Live and Periscope and Instagram Live. And, you know, we all remember Vine. Not that many people go on Vine anymore. Everybody remembers Do It for the Vine. But there's also photos. Photos can be great content. Ebooks or white papers. And white papers are a lot of times when you're in industry, people create white papers to talk about a particular topic or subject. Infographics are often used as content. Slides, PowerPoint presentations, we have SlideShare, and SlideShare is now owned by LinkedIn. So after you create your PowerPoint presentations, you can actually put them up on SlideShare and have them available for other people to view. Also reports. You can have various types of reports online. You can create online magazines. That's content. And then you can sometimes take your magazines offline, and that's also content too. Then you have, like I said before, newsletters, digital magazines, mobile apps are content, ebooks, books, checklists. I talked about white papers, podcasts, virtual content, and we all already talked about live streaming. So what type of content is right for your audience? Well, to answer this question, you really have to know your audience. You have to know who are the people that you're talking to. So are you talking to a group of women? Are you speaking to a group of men? Is your audience a young audience? Is your audience a older audience? Is your audience teachers, educators? Is your audience coaches? Is your audience filled with people that are interested in crocheting or crafting, or what is the niche? What are they about? What's their age? Where do they live? Where do they like to hang out? And the only way for you to really know and understand your audience is to really poll your audience. So you have to ask the questions. You have to ask them, what is it are you looking for? And then you need to ask, like, what is the age of the people that are following me? And a lot of times now that we have social media, and we have these great fan pages, or we have these great Instagram pages, the cool part about having that is the fact that they have something called insights. And when you go to the insights, it can tell you a lot about who your audience is. It will tell you, is your audience primarily men, or is it women? It will tell you where they live. It will tell you their age. It will tell you their interests, especially if it's on Facebook. And that's what makes Facebook so powerful. But if you have a group, or if you have customers that you've served in the past, or if you've been so fortunate to build a particular email list, one of the things that you want to do is you want to run a poll, and you want to ask your the people that are on your list, or the people that are in your group, what is it that you're looking for from me? What is, you know, your experience level? Where do you live? What's your job title? What do you do? What social networks are you on? What are your biggest problems that I can solve? And this is really cool too if you have a group on Facebook, or you know, a group on maybe Google Plus. it's pretty cool to poll your audience and see what types of things they like or what are the types of things that they're interested in and they would like you to cover, because that will give you a lot of insights with regards to what type of content you should specifically create for that particular audience. So for me, for instance, I know that my audience is primarily women. It's like 95 to 98% women, and their age is 35 to 45. And a lot of them are in New York, but they're also in other places like Atlanta, North Carolina, Chicago, and actually they're all over the world because I'm really an online platform. And I know from, if I go and I look at my LinkedIn profile, if I go and look at all of the content that I've created in the past, I know exactly the type of content that people are looking for from me. And I know when I come alive. And that's when I give content like this, a webinar on content marketing, a webinar on Instagram or social media or Facebook. This is where I come alive, when I'm training and facilitating, and I know from the registration levels what type of content that my particular audience is looking for. And these are the types of things that you're going to have to do and figure out as it relates to what type of content your audience is looking for. So just to give you a few examples, and I'll let you know right now that I took these from Pinterest. So if you are looking for ideas to create content, one of the places that I suggest you go is Pinterest. And one of the things that you can do on Pinterest is you can enter your keyword. So if your keyword is weight loss, or if your keyword is wellness, or even if your keyword is essential oils, or if it's juicing, if it's a green drink, you will find a ton of different examples of content that you can use in your business. Now, a lot of these things you'll say, okay, what could I particularly do with this? Should I just take the content from Pinterest and share it? Well, let me tell you, if I was in weight loss, and I know that some of the people that are on the phone right now are in wellness companies, and you are actually marketing and promoting weight loss products, these are some of the things that you can do with the content that you find on Pinterest. So if you find something that's like a squat challenge or a waist trainer challenge, what I would do is, instead of necessarily just posting what the challenge is, I would actually take the challenge. So for example, what I would do is, if I were doing the squat challenge, I would say, okay, everybody, this is a 27-day squat challenge. I wouldn't necessarily promote BuzzFeed's 27 days squat challenge. I wouldn't necessarily just repin that and repost that. What I would do is I would videotape myself. I would take my cell phone and I would go to Canva and I would create a post that I would use as kind of like a thumbnail for my video. Once I posted it either on Facebook or posted it on YouTube, I would, create a thumbnail, yeah, or a post that says the 27-day squat challenge, and I would create a video of myself doing the squat challenge. So I would say day 1, 10 squats, here we go. And I would do the 10 squats. And then I say, okay, everybody, this is day 2 of the 27-day squat challenge, 15 squats. And I would do 15 squats. And then I would come back the next day, okay, everybody, this is day 3, 20 squats. And then you do the 20 squats. So look at the information that's on Pinterest and don't necessarily take it and just share it verbatim. Bring that content to life with video. So for example, for the smoothies. If my company offered a protein shake and I could create these smoothies, like I think that these Ziploc bags are actually really great ideas. And these are good ideas that you could actually show someone how to do this and save time. So basically you can say, all right, everybody, you can create a video or have somebody videotape you while you're in the kitchen, and you can say, okay, everybody, this is what we're doing. We're doing the smoothie challenge, and this is how it's going to go down. This week, we're going to put all of our fruit in Ziploc bags, and then we're going to put them in the freezer. And every day, we're going to pull out a Ziploc bag of fruit, and we're going to take my protein shake, and we're going to create a smoothie. So this is how you do this to save time. And I would create an instructional video and I would post it on YouTube. And and you might just snap a video of you putting together one package. And then the next part of your video is, you might be putting together another package, but you speed it up, right? In your editing, you might speed it up. And then you just cut to the final product. And the final product could be all of these little baggies that you've put together lined up on the table. And you just saying, see, this is, it took me, look at your watch, 30 minutes to put this all together, and now all I have to do is put this in a refrigerator and pull it out and use my shake. So if you're interested in doing something like this, click the link below. I'll give you the recipes and give you the link where you can buy my shake. So utilize Pinterest as a website that you can go to generate a lot of ideas. Now, when you run across the content on Pinterest, don't just repost it. Bring that content to life and make it visual, because those are the things. Because I mean, how many of you have seen those quick meals where people are putting them together, those videos, and we love that. So if you, and people share that, and at the end of the day, one of your goals with your content is to make it shareable. So this is a great example of how you can utilize Pinterest to get great examples of content that you not only just want to go to Pinterest and rip it off and then repost it. What you want to do is you want to go to Pinterest and you want to bring that content to life. So you can literally search just about any keyword and find some content that you can bring to life on Pinterest. So now we want to talk about how we align our content with our business goals, because one of the things that's really important for all of us as we are putting together this content, we want to make sure that we're not just putting together stuff and just, like a blind person just throwing it at the wall and see what's going to stick. We want to really create content with a purpose. So there are a couple of things and a couple of goals that most people in business are looking to accomplish with their content. Basically, they either want lead generation, they want sales, they want to increase their brand awareness, or they want to create some type of engagement. So let's take these and break them down one by one. So lead generation. So some of the things that you want to measure to make sure that you're on point and you're achieving your goals is you want to measure click-through rates. Are people clicking through to your content? And you also want to measure the number of leads that you generate if lead generation is your goal. And the type of content that you're going to create is you're going to have lead capture pages, all right? Now with your lead capture pages, you're going to give away something. You're going to give away a piece of content. And as a result of you giving away the content, people are going to give you something, or you're going to give them something in return for their name and their email address. So that something could be an ebook, a checklist, it could be a white paper, it could be a video training, it could be a link to a webinar, it could be a teleseminar, an audio, it could be a podcast, a newsletter, some type of free report. These are the types of things that people will give up: their name, email address, sometimes phone number, and sometimes even more information for this type of content. So think about that when it comes down to the goal of lead generation. Now, if you are looking to generate sales, what you're going to measure is actual sales conversion rates. So basically what that means is you're going to measure how many sales you actually generated, right? And how you're going to accomplish this is through sales pages, right? So you can create a sales page that, or you can create a social media post that goes straight to a checkout shopping cart, or you could create a piece of content that will point people directly to a sales page where you're going to have a ton of copy, a ton of testimonials, a nice headline, and all of that stuff that's going to specifically sell a product. Or you can point your content towards a video sales letter where somebody will go to a video, and in that video you're going to be selling your product or your service. Or what you're going to do is point your content to a product demonstration. And if you are demoing, for example, I'm going to stay in the weight loss vein. If you're demoing how to create a shake, right, then what you're going to do is call people to make a purchase. You're going to say, this is how you make a shake. Look, you just put the water in, pour in the powder, shake it up. It's just that easy. Drink it. Oh my God, it's so great. You have got to get this shake. It's the best tasting shake ever, and it's so easy for you to put it together. It's like you don't have to put it in a blender. You could just put it in, a container with one of those little balls in it, and it mixes it up perfectly, and it's smooth, and it's not clumping up, and it tastes great. So, you could create a demo, or you can create a sales funnel, which is a little bit more complicated. And a sales funnel is where you may give away something for free, and then you have a series of, upsells. So before they leave, if they take something for free, maybe they might want to take a tripwire, which is a low cost item. Like you can offer them a $7 ebook. And if they take the $7 ebook, then before they leave, you might want to offer them a $47 course. And if they take the $47 course before they leave, you might offer them a $197 workshop or event or training course. And then before they leave, if they, if they don't take that, then you could do a down sell and all of that stuff. So basically, that's what a sales funnel is. A sales funnel is not where you offer somebody something for free and then you send them a series of emails. A true sales funnel is where you offer somebody something for free, and then before they go, you offer them something for a price, and before they go, you offer them something else, then you keep upselling, and then once you get to a point where they say no, then you could downsell. So a sales funnel is just a little bit more complicated than that. So I'm pausing for a second to answer a question, and Michelle wants to know, will the presentation be available for download? Yes, it will. So no worries. I will definitely have not only the presentation, but the actual video will also be available for download. So you'll be able to have all of this information. So I know a lot of you are probably taking some, copious notes, but you don't have to worry about taking copious notes because I'm actually going to give the PowerPoint away to you guys. It'll be available for a short period of time. But also, if your goal is to sell something, you might want to offer coupons, you might want to do a sweepstakes, you might want to do a flash sale, you might want to have a celebrity endorsement or an influencer. Maybe there's somebody that has a large population or a large following on Facebook or Instagram. You might want to reach out to them and ask them, to do an endorsement, send them some free product, and maybe they'll do an endorsement for you. And I said demo videos already. So if you are looking to, if the goal is brand awareness, then what you're going to measure is your social shares. So basically, did it go viral? Did people share the video? How many people have seen it? How many views did the video have? How many likes did you get? How many hearts did you get on Periscope? Or so basically, if you're looking to really create brand awareness, you're looking for the reach. You want to make sure that the content is liked and shared with other people so that the reach is much larger than your own reach. And that's always great. And the good thing about when people start sharing content is that the little algorithm on these websites see that something is popular and trending, and they start to open it up so that other people can see it. So that's really cool. And the sole purpose most of the time of brand awareness is to get people talking and to get your content trending. So some of the things that you might want to use to create brand awareness is downloadable guides, white papers, videos of people using the product, checklists, webinars, live events, networking events. Also, if you're in the home-based business industry and you have home parties, you might want to have home parties to increase brand awareness. Also, you can participate in business expos or any type of vending events. You also might want to create some online magazines or do some Facebook Lives, Instagram Lives, create infographics, put together a press release. All of those things are great as it relates to increasing brand awareness. Then there's engagement. So if you want people to engage more with your content, then really what you're looking for is for people to comment, like it, share it, give you more hearts, etc. So the things that and the types of content that you can use to increase engagement is you can create blog posts, you can do polls, contests, trivia questions, fill in the blank statements, sweepstakes, hashtag contests, Facebook Lives, Instagram Lives, all of those things increase engagement. And when you create your Instagram Lives or your Facebook Lives, one of the things you want to make sure that you do, and let me just tell you this. It's always good when you have a Facebook Live or Instagram Live or any type of live event to have someone on there that's your tag team person. And that's the person that could be somebody that's like your virtual assistant, or it could be one of your friends that you just reach out to them and ask them to support you. And how they're going to support you is you may give them a list of questions to ask you while you're on the Facebook Live or you may get them to cue you up so that you don't forget certain things, because a lot of times when you get on Facebook Live, if you don't have it scripted, you may forget some of the things you want to say. So for instance, you may say, I'm going to do a Facebook Live today and I'm going to talk about my upcoming boot camp. And then you get on and I'm going to talk about one of the topics that I will be talking about at the boot camp. So you may get on the Facebook Live and start talking about that topic, but you may forget to tell people when the boot camp is, what the date is, what the time is, where it's going to take place, and you may want to have like your virtual assistant or a friend on the Facebook Live actually asking those questions. And once you answer it, you may have them typing in, oh, the event is taking place October 7th. It's taking place from 11 to 3 or 9 to 5. It's taking place at the Radisson Hotel in New Rochelle. Here's the link to register, smallbusinessbootcampforwomen.com. So while you are delivering the content, you'll have your buddy on the live with you actually typing the stuff in. And one of the things that I do for a lot of my friends is when I see them on live and I see them talking about something, I'll start asking the questions and then I'll start typing in the information. And they don't even know, sometimes they don't even realize that I'm really supporting them, because I want to make sure that they don't forget to deliver some important information. And sometimes before you get on your Facebook Lives and all of that, you may want to write some bullet points so that you know these are the key points that I want to deliver and I don't want to forget when I'm delivering that content. So you want to make sure before you start creating your content that you're clear on what your goals are. Am I creating this content to generate a lead? Am I creating it to generate a sale? Do I just want to increase brand awareness, or do I want to increase engagement? And if I'm increasing engagement, why? And usually the reason why you want to increase your engagement is because you really want your content to go viral. Brand awareness and engagement is about making your content go viral so you can expand your reach and visibility and increase your followers and fans. That's what that's all about. And at the end of the day, while you're doing that, eventually you're going to generate a lead and generate a sale as you continue to build and grow your pipeline, because believe it or not, people have to see your information and your content at least 7 times, or more. No, a minimum of 5. It's very rare that people will see your content one time and engage with it. They need to see it multiple times before they take action. I've had people to come to my bootcamp events and say to me that, I've known about this for 2 years and I finally decided to come. So every year when I have the bootcamp, there are lots of new people that are always in the audience, but it's always worth it in the end. So you just have to keep at it, and be consistent, because believe it or not, all of the little breadcrumbs that you're dropping along the way, eventually they will get picked up. So now I want to talk to you a little bit about content creation and content distribution. So when it comes down to creating content, I want to give you a couple of tips. First, a lot of times you want to be controversial. And I always like to tell a story about my friend Chanel Emanite. A lot of people might know her as Chanel Cooper Sykes. One of the things that Chanel was really on top of, I'm talking about years ago, was video vlogging. She loved to do videos, and she would do videos with her camera. And I mean, she had a little Sony camera, and she would take that camera and she would do vlogs. One day she decided to do a vlog called All Men Are Dogs. And in the video she talked about, she went on a rant, right? And she basically said, you women want to talk about how all men are dogs when you're walking around and your hair is busted and your nails don't look good and you're all out of shape and da 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 da. So she really let women have it, right? And what happened as a result was a lot of people, she got a lot of people to start reaching out to her, and Sharon says she remembers that video. Yeah, you remember that video. What happened that was the next day, believe it or not, her Facebook fan page had gotten, I mean, she had gotten like 5,000 friend requests. And she didn't even have a fan page at the time. So she immediately created the fan page, and she had been working on this book. And what happened was, after she created that video, somebody in the UK talked about it on the radio. And what ended up happening was it just went viral after that. And right now, I think Chanel probably has almost 1 million people following her on Facebook. She has an awesome fan base. She married the man of her dreams, David Emanite, and they're doing their, I believe, conferences and stuff like that. But just off of that, video blogging or vlogging and doing that one rant, and it changed everything. So she was being controversial, and I will tell you to do the same thing, because at the end of the day, let me tell you something about how celebrity works. Celebrity doesn't necessarily works with everybody liking you. You have to realize you're going to have a whole fan base that loves you, and you're going to have a whole group of people that hate you. When you think about Beyonce, I mean, there are so many people who love Beyonce, and her fans, her fans are on point. But there are a lot of people who can't stand Beyonce. They're like, why da 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 da? And I mean, they go in on her. And I love Beyonce, but a lot of people don't like Beyonce. You think about Donald Trump. He has a fan base that loves Donald Trump, and then there are people that hate him. So, and you think about the same thing with Howard Stern. There are people who love him. There are people who hate him. When you are building this thing called celebrity, there are going to be a bunch of people that absolutely can't stand you. I know I have people that get on my webinars and teleseminars, and they can't stand the sound of my voice, and they get off right away. And that's okay. That's fine, because that's just how it is. Some people are going to like you. Some people are going to hate you. But be controversial sometimes, but be yourself. Be inventive, be inspiring, be funny, be personable, be educational. One thing I know that a lot of people can get from me is a lot of awesome content. I love to educate. I believe in education. Be timely, be relevant, be intriguing, be original, spark emotions, right? And be visual. People like photos, charts, videos. Be a storyteller. Be descriptive. Grab their attention. If you do all of these things, I promise you're going to create some really good content. And here are some ideas that you can use and this is a lot, that you can use to create some content. You can debunk some myths. You can highlight a specific product or service. You can make an announcement if you have a team, maybe of graphic artists or virtual, assistants. You may want to highlight one of your team members. You may want to highlight a lesson learned. If you're in network marketing and you have a person who did something outstanding, you may want to highlight that. You may want to share the process of you making, like I said before, like a shake or something like that. Or if you do crafting and you create these lovely floral arrangements, you may want to share a video of you doing something like that. You could share a success story. You can announce a contest. You could give some tips or expert advice. You can give tips on what not to do, things to avoid. You could talk about, things that, the top 10 things that people say that are not true about losing weight. The top 5 foods that'll make you gain weight. You could talk about life experiences. You can do motivational quotes. You can make a prediction. That's one of the things that I did this year. I did my top online marketing predictions, and people actually opted in to get those predictions. You can talk about your company history. You can discuss a specific business tool. You can talk about best practices. One that's really good is conducting an interview. Those are really good. You could provide a tutorial. Now, those are excellent. If you're going to provide a tutorial on how to do something, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is post that information on YouTube, because YouTube is a big how-to search engine, and a lot of people, when they want to learn how to do something, one of the most watched videos on YouTube is how to tie a tie. And I think that video probably was posted years and years ago, and it's still getting a ton of traction today. And that's the one thing I love about YouTube as well as it relates to content, is the fact that putting a video on YouTube is like having a TV show on TV Land. That TV show could have been created 10, 20 years ago, like Columbo. But guess what? Because it's on TV Land, it's still getting a residual check. And that's what I love about YouTube, because you can post a video and that video can pay off and drive traffic to websites years later. I love YouTube for that. So these are just some ideas of content that you could specifically create for your business. And you know, these can trigger a lot, but if you go to Pinterest, like I said before, that will trigger a lot as well. Now, as it relates to content distribution, what you want to do is think about the type of content that you have and think about how you want to distribute it. And when you think about, you know, the content and how you want to distribute it and the frequency, meaning how often or what specific days, then you have the making of a real content strategy. So you create the content with a specific goal in mind, and then you pick one of these distribution channels. So you have social media, and you have all of the social media websites that you can use to distribute content. And the purpose of distributing the content is to attract your ideal audience. And you want to attract followers and fans and everything on social media. And the purpose of doing that is you're building your audience, because when you first go on social media, and you first create your pages, you probably, you know, you probably have a few people that like your page, a few people that start following you. But the idea with creating content is that you want to create viral content that's going to increase brand awareness, and that's going to be shared. It's going to increase engagement, and it's going to be shared through, you know, other people. And, you know, most of these sites, when you get on them, when you get on Instagram, when you get on Facebook, it will ask you if you want to, you know, like, it'll make suggestions of people who you should connect with. If you're on Instagram, it'll tell you who just joined from Facebook and all of that stuff. So you can kind of connect with people that way, but you also can reach out to some people and ask them to like your pages. So one of the first things that I tell people to do, if you have a group of friends and you create a fan page, one of the things that you want to do to start building your audience is asking your friends to like your page. So once your friends start liking your page, then you can ask them to ask their friends to start liking your page. But you can also create a likes campaign. So for example, if your product is in the weight loss industry, you can create a likes campaign that will target all of the people who like weight loss or who are interested in weight loss. And you can actually narrow it down to the people that live within a 25-mile radius of you who likes weight loss. And that's how you build up. You can, you know, once you start getting your first couple of hundred people, and then you start writing and creating the right type of content that will go viral, then your pages are going to start getting likes very organically, which means that all you're going to have to do is create content, and you're going to build your likes, and you're going to build your following. And that becomes your asset, because as your following grows, even if you're posting content and people can't view it, if you create a video and then you tell Facebook, okay, I want to boost this. I know all my people are not seeing this video, but I'm going to boost it so that more of my people see the video. So if you tell Facebook, okay, I built this audience of 2,000 people, and guess what? I want you to show it to as many people as possible. And Facebook is going to do that, but it's going to be really cheap because you've already taken the time to organically build your audience. So it's not going to cost you as much. So a lot of times people don't understand the importance of building an audience, but it's so that when you begin to advertise and do Facebook ads and Twitter ads and all of that stuff, then it's less expensive. So that's the importance of doing that. But you can also, if you create articles or blog posts, you can also convert them into articles and put them on LinkedIn posts. If you create PowerPoints like this, you can also load them up on SlideShare, which is now LinkedIn SlideShare. And AdWords is just, Google Ads, where, you can create a little bit of short ad copy, and then that ad copy could be pointed to any kind of any content. But for the most part, when you do Google AdWords, you want to create sales pages, video sales letters, and things like that. You want to take people to specific targeted content that has a specific goal, like generating a sale, because you don't want to spend money to send people to a website where it's not really focused on generating a sale, because the purpose of creating these ads is so that you can recoup your money and be in profit. So you can do Instagram ads, blogs, podcasts. Podcasting is hot right now, and that's because when you share your podcast on iTunes and Blog Talk Radio and SoundCloud, then that increases the exposure and the visibility. So once you have your content created and you've planned out what your goals are, you've created your content, you started to distribute it, and the next thing you want to do is just measure it. So if I go back to this slide where we talked about our goals, and I talked about here on this slide how you measure your goals. Well, you're going to measure, like I said, for lead generation, whether you generated a lead, for sales conversions, whether you generated a sale, for brand awareness. You're going to measure views, likes, social shares, meaning how viral it went. For engagement, you're going to measure comments, likes, shares, hearts, and things like that. So when it comes down to creating a strategy, your strategy is just as simple as this. Plan out what type of content you want to create and what your goals are up front. Create the content, distribute it across different channels, and measure to see if you were successful. It's just as simple as that. So then, what's next? And like I always say on my webinar, there's usually 3 types of people that see this webinar. The first person is the person who sees it, you've seen it, you got it, and you're ready to do it on your own. And for you, I always say fantastic, because you got it and you definitely are ready to go, and that tells me I did my job. The second type of person is the person that may be ready to go, but you still have some questions. And for you, I say send me an email at Toni at Network for Women in Business, and I will definitely answer your questions. And then it's the third person. That third person is the person who you get it, you have some questions, but you realize that you still need a little bit of help. And you know that you just really need some direction and guidance and you need help. You want somebody to actually sit with you and help to create that plan, help to create the content, distribute it, and measure it. So for you, I would say apply to our next online marketing mastermind live event, and basically all you have to do is go to onlinemarketingmastermindlive.com and you can apply for our next event. But definitely, my email is, I'm going to answer some questions right now if you have any questions. But what I'm also going to do is I am going to type in my email just in case you have some specific questions that you want to ask me privately. But if you want to ask any questions now, I will definitely answer them for those of you that are still here. And then I'm going to type in the website for you to apply to the Online Marketing Mastermind Live. Okay, so I've done that. And we only have like 4 slots available because, believe it or not, we have an online marketing mastermind that's happening in May this month on the 19th and 20th. That one is completely full. We have another one coming up on July 29th and 30th, and there is opportunity for you to get a spot there. There's only 4 slots left, so if you're interested in that, definitely let me know. But if you have any questions right now, um, please definitely feel free to ask me any questions that you may have. Anybody have any questions? Yes, the presentation is going to be available for download. And let's see, I started my business in February. 100 people visited my website in March, but no sales. Please help. Okay, so what I would need to do is, Ms. Frederick, is I would need to actually take a look at your website. So you would have to, if you want to email me your website, I will take a look at it and try to give you some suggestions with regards to what you should do to, fix that. But I want to let you know that people usually visit a website, but they don't stay on the websites very long, especially if the website is not targeted to a specific product. So therefore, if you're trying to sell something, and especially if you have different products that you're looking to sell, depending upon where they came from, and if they came from social media, say for instance, if they came from Instagram, if you were selling, like if I was selling a necklace on Instagram and I told people to click on the link to get the necklace, what I would basically do is I would have that link go directly to a shopping cart so they could just pull out their credit card and buy. I wouldn't give them the opportunity to think, second guess, or anything like that. I would take them right to a shopping cart. Okay, Ariel, what kind of content works for attracting small businesses to advertise with me? Now that's a good question because it depends upon what type of platform you're allowing them to advertise on, because some people may look at your platform and not feel as if it's the right platform for their product or service. So I would definitely have to see what type of platform you're asking people to advertise on. And then I could give you better feedback on that question. All right. So Miss Frederick, I think you pronounce your name or Trisha. So you can, yes, please email me your website so that I can see exactly where you're sending people to. Okay, so when creating content, what selling words should we stay away from or gravitate to? Now that's an interesting question, and it's a very good one because not let me just say this. If you're writing a blog post, then what I would definitely do within my blog post is give really clear call to actions. If I was creating a video, I would give very clear call to actions. And me, what I mean by that is I would say things like, so click on the link below this video or click on the link above this video so that you can get your hands on this particular product or this particular service. If I was writing a blog post, I would say the same thing. So click on the link below or click here to find out more information. So I would actually, one of the things that I found in creating content for people is that you have to direct them. You have to tell them very clearly what it is that you want them to do. So I would say click here to buy this necklace right now today for $3 off or 50% off, especially if you're having like a flash sale. If you're having a flash sale, you know, one of the things that you want to do is let people know for a limited time after midnight on this day, it's going away. You won't have access to it anymore. So click here today and buy XYZ. So you want to really be just straightforward with your call to actions in your content, especially when you're looking to sell something. Because people really, I don't know why they act like they don't know what to do. I found it very useful to tell people exactly what you want them to do. So the question is, how do I increase Instagram likes? I've been using hashtags, but I don't know how else to get viewership. Okay, one of the things that you can do to increase your Instagram likes is you can actually take one of your best posts and create an ad. And then, you know, asking people to, you know, follow you, like your page. Or another thing that you can do is you can create a contest, like a hashtag contest or something like that. Or a contest where you tell people to follow you on Facebook, use this hashtag, and there are some specific companies that really provide great service, and I'm gonna put the name of one in the chat, and it's called WooBox, and they are good at creating, you know, they're a good company and a good service if you ever want to create social media type of contests, hashtag contests, photo contests, likes content tests, and they're good for expanding your reach and increasing your Instagram followers. So, and hashtags, you know, you want to use a lot of hashtags too, because every time you use hashtags, you will get an increase in followers. But I'll tell you one thing right now, when people start following you, you definitely want, the first thing you want to do is follow them back, because if you don't follow them back, they're going to unfollow you really fast. So Michelle, she wants to know, how would you recommend posting price comparison about competition on social media? I would just, you know, create a really nice price comparison chart, and you could use Canva, and let me write that down because it's a free tool, or you can go to, I'm going to type this one in too, you can go to Fiverr and you can have someone, you can have a graphic artist on Fiverr create a price comparison chart for $5. So I would just create a price comparison chart, and I would, you know, kind of promote it on social media, and then I would talk about it. You know what's really cool about social media sites, especially those sites like Facebook? Facebook, you know, there's something called SEO, which stands for social, um, Lord, why social SEO? Why I can't remember what search engine optimization. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. And then there's SAO, which is, you know, when you optimize using social, right? So it's social optimization. It's really when you are actually using sites like Facebook to optimize keywords. So for example, if you really, you know, Facebook is considered, and Instagram too. Facebook and Instagram and Twitter are considered to be high quality websites. And what that means is when somebody is searching for Toni Coleman-Brown, one of the first websites that's going to pop up is Facebook, right? So when you use hashtags and when you use a specific keyword in your Facebook post, and somebody is looking up that keyword, it's very probable that your Facebook post is going to show up in the search. Now, another thing that you can do is in Facebook, you know, you can write articles. So it's almost like you can create a story. So when you have someone create your price comparison chart, I would post it, but I would do something that I call a Facebook long post. And in your Facebook long post is where you post the price comparison chart, but then you write this long post about it. And you just really go into in-depth details. So it's almost like creating an article right within Facebook. Or you can, you know, create a story and you can promote that as a sponsored story, and people can, you know, see it in their timeline. So there are a lot of different ways that you can, you know, go about doing that. Um, yeah, Orticia is called Woobox, Woobox. And I typed it in the chat. So if you look over to the right, you see it as Woobox, Woobox. And they're good for all of those social contests, photo contests, sweepstakes, hashtag contests, and things like that. So Julia wants to know, what CRM tool do you recommend for beginners? Believe it or not, the CRM tool that I recommend for beginners is called Insightly, and it's absolutely free. And I'm going to put that in the comments box as well. And Insightly works really well with Gmail, and it allows you to put in all of your tasks, all of your follow-ups, all of your projects, and you can also add team members. And it also links up with your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar. And like I said, and you can add team members and you can assign tasks to your team members. So I would say Insightly. I like it a lot. And it's really easy to use and it's free. So for database management and eBlast, okay, Julia didn't hear the whole answer. So the software that I would recommend is called Insightly, and it's really easy to use, and it's a good complement with Gmail. You can put in all of your tasks, all of the people you need to follow up with. You can put in all of your contacts. You can assign your task. You can include your team. So I think it's a really good piece of software, and it connects very well with your Google Calendar, so you can create alerts. It's really cool. So Insightly is the CRM that I would recommend for beginners. For email blasts or database management, well, I use Infusionsoft, and Infusionsoft is really good for all of that, but it's almost it's expensive. So when you first starting out, you may not want to go to, and it's not very well, it's more user friendly than it used to be. But for some people, it may not be as user friendly as some of the others. A great database management tool for eBlast would be MailChimp or GetResponse or Aweber. I use Aweber because I'm grandfathered into like this ridiculously low price for unlimited emails, and for all of these other database management, eBlast, email marketing, professional email marketing software, and these softwares where you can create your newsletters and send them out to people that are on your list, they go up with price. MailChimp is pretty cool because you can have up to 2,000 contacts for free. And MailChimp also has excellent delivery. So basically, when you send out an email, it's going to be delivered to the people that you send it to. With all of the other ones, they increase, and MailChimp is the same. They increase with the amount of emails that you add to the system. So Aweber goes up depending upon the number of emails. All of them go up depending upon the number of emails that you have. But I really like Aweber because, like I said, I've been using them for years, and I have a ridiculously low rate. I mean, it's like less than $30 for unlimited emails. And that's like it's totally ridiculous. You won't find that anywhere. So does anybody else have any other questions? So if there are no more questions, I'm going to once again welcome you to complete an application for the Online Marketing Mastermind live event. And I'm going to also welcome you to, shoot me an email at Toni at networkforwomeninbusiness.com, and I will happily answer any more questions that you have. Wait a minute, I see. All right. So everybody says great info. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Thank you. You are amazing. Thank you, Tricia. I appreciate that. So after we get off the call, it's going to take about 24 hours for me to get the video and the website up. It will be the exact same link that you used to register is where I will include the video and the PowerPoint. So you guys will be able to go right to the same link, and I will email everybody, all of the people that came to the webinar tonight and all of those that weren't able to make it. I will be emailing them the replay as well. So I want to thank you so much for allowing me to share this time with you, and I love the feedback, and I'm glad that you guys got a lot out of it, and most of you stayed until the very end. So I definitely appreciate that, and look for more webinars coming up like this that delivers great content. And I kind of really see the kind of content that you guys like, and I'm definitely going to continue to serve and deliver the kind of content that you're looking for. So thank you so much once again, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of the evening. Take care and God bless until the next time. Good night.